he's going to make the tour this year.
All right. I like the prediction. Well, we set up the heat, and the clock is counting down from 35 minutes, Flick. Your thoughts on this matchup? Sunset and Pipeline.
Yep. It's, well, that's probably something that we have in common too on his last wave. I do that a lot of times, way too many.
Oh my
I grew up surfing with, you know, like he's going for that one, and he's really deep. Seems like he's really deep, maybe too deep. Oh,
and now it's going to be even between the two of them, both incompletes. So priority shifts back over to J. Florence, former CT surfer, actually brought a World Junior title over to Tahiti too when he was in his developmental stage. Here we go, Mihimana stalling off the takeoff, finds a little cover, smartly surfed wave for Mihimana, and he will take the lead in the matchup over J. Florence.
On the board here, obviously. A little bit of an easier takeoff, waits for it here, and then, I mean, that was dicey. Up underneath the lip, gets a little cover up. It's not going to be a massive score, but just nice to get your feet in the wax and get, you know, get a make.
Exactly. You can see like he has to put something under his feet, and this wave is probably gonna change the whole situation in his mind. Like he's probably gonna need like a high score from now on. But you know, like John has been waiting for the one already, so it's gonna be a crazy one. Like anything that's gonna come.
Back in Tahiti at the end of the road, and Mihimana pulling in, pulling up, pulling through, cascading lip over the Tahitian wild card, kicks out.
Let's have a look here. So slides up underneath the lip. You can see that back foot just shift further forward on the board, just to make sure he makes it through that barrel. And then let's have a look from this angle. Such a groovy little slide there under the barrel, under the lip, and double arm drag just to maximize that time.
He's got the lead over J. Florence in this matchup. John next wave of the set. And John gets a pump in, lost in the barrel, and finds his way out. Great navigation by J. Florence, and we have a paddle battle. We have a heat on our hand.
But for me, I mean, out the back, John just waited for this wave, and for good reason. I mean, that thing was an absolute nugget.
Yeah, check out this angle, and just how he's able to maneuver that board backhand through a grindy barrel, Michelle. So impressive.
That's crazy. He just got an 8.17 on that one, and you can see like he was pumping in the barrel the whole time, and that's something that not a lot of people can do. And just because you have to have that vision and to know exactly where you are in the barrel to be able to do that. And John is one of the best in the world, and that's the reason why he got an 8.17.
Yeah, John goes excellent. He's going to use under priority. Side slip shimmy into this one, and he's going to take the lead. He just needed 1.99, needed a 2-point ride to take the lead off of Mihimana, and he has done that easily with that quick reaction flick, just getting right back in the lineup and getting a backup score.
He strokes into this one, and those fins fully, I mean, they disengaged from the wave. You could see that they were sliding around there for a second, even there at the end as well. I mean, right here, you'll really be able to see it. The fins dislodge from the face of the wave. See that tail slide out? John regains control there, which was just super difficult to do. Really tight technical barrel, and great backup to that 8.17.
John taking the lead. Oh, we'll take another look at it. Break this down in slow motion, Michelle.
Well, I was just thinking that it was kind of a cloud break barrel somehow. You know, he knew that he didn't need to go fast, so he was stalling like right at the beginning of the takeoff, and it's so technical, man. Like
he takes over the yellow leader's jersey if he's able to win this heat. Here he goes again. John getting into rhythm, controlling his pace through this barrel. Where is he? There he is, right over the foam ball, and a rare subtle claim by John. That now he's feeling it, Flick.
Yeah, he is. He's definitely feeling it. Surfing his way into a wardrobe change.
Mihimana, he's ready to battle back into it.
Yeah, we're taking a look at here J. Florence on the replay. Michelle just toying with the barrel like a giant Maine Coon cat and a ball of yarn.
Yeah, John. he's always in the right position, and I like the claim. It's a half claim, but still a claim.
And rare to get out of some excitement like that of the casual John Florence.
Oh, completely. I think just most people, when they get into this section of the barrel, I mean, there's just so much speed on the foam ball that it just will project you forward, but he does such a good job here at dragging. Half of his whole body is in the side of the face of the wave. You can see his fins disengaging there again, and he just does so well to control that. And I mean, because of that very moment, he prolongs that time in the barrel. It's incredible. Like the technique that he has on that ride, I mean, it's so difficult.
He was so high right there when you watch it in slow motion. That was teetering on the edge. That was like stand-up bodyboarding, just utilizing really like the rail. And there you go. Strider, what do you got going out there?
John sidestepping, but Mihimana out the back, pulling into this thing deep. Beautiful tube ride right there. So he likes it. He's coming by, gonna kick out, spray us, and get back out there. Mihimana's gonna try and put himself right back into this thing.
Now I understand why he half claimed it, you know? Wow, that was crazy. We couldn't see that from the first angle we had. It's so technical. And Mihimana, wow.
Okay, let's think less, let's feel more, let's get connected, and let's go. And I feel like this wave forces that.
2-minute mark right now. Reaction time. Priority with John. He slips into this one. What a drop. Manages the foam ball, but that foam ball.
Get back out the back. But let's talk about the coulda, shoulda, woulda. And if he makes this, I feel like it's a 10.
That's a 10.
That thing was crazy. Just even to get
the drop. Mihimana, this could be the comeback wave for the Tahitian. Eases off the bottom, pulls into a pit, traveling through the pit, comes out with his arms up. He needs a 7.68 to turn the heat. Michelle, your first reaction.
And make the drop was crazy. Let's break down Mihimana. So bigger wave 2, quite deep, obviously trying to double arm drag there to maximize that tube time. I don't know. I'm not sure where this is going to go. I mean, it was a big wave. It was a set wave.
Doesn't need to go excellent.
No.
Does not need to go excellent. Just a 7.68, just in the very good range, Michelle. This is what happened with John where we're in the last replay.
Wow.
So does that better his score line, I guess, is the question. So advantage to him. He's going to take a insurance policy here, and so the previous wave is going to be the important score for Mihimana. On to the quarterfinal, and John Florence going to #1 on the leaderboard on the live rankings.
John, you're spitting blood.
Yeah, I don't know where it's coming from. That last one was gnarly, but I was stoked to get one of those kind of bigger sets, and wish I would have made it. I was just a little too far under it for the drop, and so I didn't get a big pump. But I'm stoked to make that heat.
Talk about the heat, talk about Mihimana, and you know, coming up against the local wild card who was on a tear.
Yeah, Mihimana, he's been ripping. His heat against Griffin yesterday was gnarly, and like he's such a good surfer out here, and so it's scary coming in. Oh, and they're not afraid to go on the big ones, and so that's where you're like, okay, like if a big one comes, he's in the spot, he's probably going to get a 10. So that was just, yeah, that was a super close, hard heat. Oh my gosh! What?
You just started the heat.
I want one like that.
All right, we'll throw it back up to you guys. Congratulations, John. And here we go.
For the wily wildcard, Mihimana Braye, give us a recap of the last 35 minutes of your life.
Yeah, that was a battle. It was a really close one. It's tough when it's long lulls like this, because you kind of like, oh, do I go on a medium one? And then is there a set coming? You don't really know, because there could be a 20-minute lull. So it makes those heats really tough. And yeah, so that was a fun battle to get those couple waves in the end there. And it's so scary because he's so close.
Some brutal wipeouts, but also some glorious moments out there with some big sets coming through. There's a big one coming through now. Maybe you could tell us what you're seeing from the boat.
Yeah, this looks like a kind of one of the medium sets that are coming. Just such a nice wave, though. It looks like a really clean, good one. Oh, like, yeah, just let him in so nicely. Oh no, those ones are really perfect and fun, playful.
And now you want to get right back out there. So, John, we did some great news. Between the flogging you got on your previous wave and the time you got to the boat, you've just jumped into the yellow leader jersey. You're now #1 in the world. Did you know that was about to happen?
Yeah, I kind of had a thought that was going to happen because I knew we were all pretty close. and both Jack and Griffin went down yesterday. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm pretty stoked, but we still have a lot of events to go, and yeah, hopefully I can win this event and get a big lead.
Love to hear it. One thing that we keep hearing about is something that you've just newly found, that dad power. Any different feel out there with that dad power behind you now?
Yeah, for sure. You know, it's crazy being a dad now and just that whole new kind of experience of life. And me and my wife are so stoked. It's actually been pretty hard to be away because he was born like a week before I left. And but yeah, it feels good and it feels like I'm competing for them. And so I'm really stoked on that.
New homie at home, new jersey color. It's on for John John.